Forearm stand flow, brought to you by the Elegant Outlaw. This short flow is designed to help you prep for the forearm stand and walks you through how to get into a forearm stand step by step. We will start laying on our backs. Press the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out from right to left. Bring your legs in the shape of a diamond. You can reach your arms out to the right and the left, or reach your arms up overhead. Start to stretch into your chest and your arms. Breathe here. This is your time to ground and to set an intention. Set an intention for your practice. Start to deepen your breath. Feel the air fill up your lungs with each inhale and feel it empty with each exhale. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reach your legs up to the sky. Interlace your fingers behind your right leg and lower your left leg down. Let your left heel sink heavy into the mat and let your left leg be passive. Let your right leg be active. Flex and point your right toe. Bring some movement to your ankle. Let your right thigh bone, the femur bone, sink heavy into your hip socket, your ball and socket joint of your hip. Feel the stretch in your right hamstring. We will be stretching the hamstring a lot during this class. Gently release the grip of your hands and raise your left leg to meet your right. Interlace your fingers behind your left leg. Lower your right leg down towards the earth. Let your right heel sink heavy into the mat and let your right leg be passive. Activate your left ankle, flex and point your left toes. Bring movement and circulation to your left ankle. Let your left femur bone sink heavy into the ball and socket joint of your hip. Let it settle into place and breathe into the stretch in your left hamstring. Gently release the grasp of your left leg and raise your right leg to meet your left in balance. And slowly as you can, lower both your legs towards the earth. Make sure you draw your belly towards your spine to protect your low back. Release both heels to the ground and point your toes back towards your hips. Extend your arms forward, reach your fingertips towards your toes, and use your core to gently peel yourself up to a seated position. Dandasana pose. Press your hands into the earth by your hips. Breathe. Feel the inhale lengthen your spine. Release from your pose, come into a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your heels. Cat-cow pose. Every inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart and your hips, and every exhale, curl in and under. Connect with your breath. Awaken your core, awaken your spine. Take one last inhale. Exhale, find a neutral spine. Curl your toes under, walk your toes back about 3 to 4 inches. Take an inhale for length. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel your core drag you up and back. Press firmly into your hands, spread your fingertips wide. Now take a nice deep stretch to your feet and raise your heels up off of the mat. Come onto your tiptoes. Attempt to stack your heels directly over your toes. Sink your heels back down even deeper into the mat than they were before. Inhale, come onto your tiptoes, bend into your knees. Exhale, tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Plant your feet hip-width distance apart and grab the opposite elbows with your opposite hands. Let the weight of your arms and your skull peel your vertebrae open one at a time. Be nice to your hamstrings. It's early in practice. Take a slight bend to the backs of your knees. Gently release the grip. Reactivate your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Hinge from your hips. Find a flat back. Bring your body into the shape of a 7. Rest your fingertips on your shins or your calf. Draw your belly to your spine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Breathe here. Reactivate your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep your hands up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Reflect on your intention. Root down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Maybe find a slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hinge from your hips. Find a flat back. Exhale, float your right toes all the way to the back of your mat. Stack your right heel over your right toe. Stack your left knee over your left ankle. Activate your core so much so that you could float your fingertips off the mat. Now plant your right hand firmly into the mat and plant your left hand firmly onto your thigh bone. Lock it into place. Take an inhale in your spine for length. Exhale, twist your heart open towards the left. Make sure your left thigh bone is still in place, and if so, reach your left arm up towards the sky. Expand through your chest, open your heart even more. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release your left hand down to frame your front foot. Inhale, crescent moon. Melt your right knee down. Sweep your hands up towards the sky. Activate your core even more in this pose. So press your tailbone down and forward. Accentuate this stretch on your right quad, and shine your heart up towards the sky. Press your palms together and draw your thumbs towards the back of your neck. Point your elbows up towards the sky. Magnetize your upper arms together and lock them into place. Inhale, straighten arms. Exhale, release, half splits. Slide your hips back, point your left toes up and your left kneecap up. We're going to be here for a couple of breaths. So don't go into this pose 100% all the way on your first breath, and take a couple breaths to deepen into your pose. Find space behind the back of your left hamstring. Take one more deep inhale here. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, bend into your front foot. Plant your hands to frame your front foot. Inhale, high plank. Left foot meets right. Breathe here. Line up your hips with your shoulder blades and the back of your head. Stack your heels over your toes. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Keep your hands where they are. Point your elbows back. Press the tops of your feet and your hip bones in towards the earth. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift and lengthen from your low back. Find space in your low back, mid back, and upper back. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release forehead onto the mat and curl your toes under. Inhale, rock up to a tabletop position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Use your core to lift you up and back. Inhale, come onto your tiptoes, bend into your knees. Exhale, step or spring to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, reverse swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float your left toes all the way to the back of the mat. Set your pose up. Stack your back heel over your back toes. Stack your front knee over your front ankle, but not beyond. Now plant your left hand firmly in towards the earth and plant your right hand firmly onto your right thigh bone. Lock it into place. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, twist heart open towards the right. Make sure your right thigh bone is still into place. Option 2, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Find a nice expansion into your chest. Twist your heart open more towards the right side. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, release your right hand down to frame your front foot. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, melt knee down. Inhale, sweep your hands up towards the sky. Activate your core. Press your tailbone down and forward. Lift and lengthen from your low back. Press your palms together over your head. Bend at your elbows. Let your thumbs gravitate towards the back of your head. Lock your upper arms in towards your shoulders and magnetize your elbows towards one another until your elbows are directly over your shoulders. Inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, half splits. Slide your hips back, straighten your right leg. Shine your right kneecap and your right toes up towards the sky. With every inhale, find a little bit more space in your spine and the back of your right hamstrings. With every exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, bend into your front foot. Plant your hands to frame your foot. Inhale, high plank, right foot meets left. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your hips are the highest point in your body. We're going to move into this flow, but this time it'll be one breath per movement, really starting to warm up our bodies. Inhale, come onto your tiptoes, prepare your legs. Exhale, step or spring to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float your right toes all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, twist from your heart. Exhale, release your left hand down. Inhale, melt your knee down, sweep hands to the sky. Exhale, palms together, point elbows up. Inhale, straighten arms. Exhale, half splits. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side. Inhale, come onto your tiptoes, prepare your legs. Exhale, step or spring, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Exhale, cascade your heart over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float your left toes all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, twist your heart open towards the right. Exhale, release your right hand down. Inhale, crescent moon, melt your left knee down, sweep hands up. Exhale, press palms together, point elbows up. Inhale, straighten arms. Exhale, half splits. Stay for the inhale breath. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Inhale, high plank, right foot meets left. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Time to move on to our second flow. Inhale, come onto your tiptoes, prepare your legs. Exhale, step or spring to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips low, reach your heart and your hands high. Gaze down at your knees. Make sure you can see your toes beyond your knees. Draw your rib cage in and find neutrality in your back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or spring from a high plank to a low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, tap opposite elbow. Inhale, lift and lengthen right leg. Exhale, step your right foot on the inside of your right hand. Inhale, warrior one. Point your front foot forward and dial your back foot out so it points towards the top left corner of your mat. Attempt to stack your shoulders over your hips. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, interlace your fingertips behind your back. Inhale, straighten your arms and your spine to capacity. Exhale, humble warrior. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Let your arms be light. Check back in with your hips. Tack your right hip back probably about 1 or 2 inches. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, pyramid pose. Straighten into your right and your left leg. Step your back foot forward probably about 1 foot, but keep the same angle. Breathe into the stretch in your hamstrings. Remember, we're going to be doing a lot of hamstring stretches. Inhale, halfway lift, stay here. Exhale, parallel your arms towards the earth. Root into your right foot. Inhale, warrior 3 pose. Lift your left leg off the earth, parallel towards the earth. Take one more inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Sweep the energy of your fingertips back. Shine your heart forward. Release into a standing splits. Let your head hang heavy. Square your hips off. Left foot raises up to the sky. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Shake it out. It's time for the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips low. Reach your arms high. Magnetize the tips of your ribs towards the tips of your hips. Draw your core towards your center line. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or spring, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, tap right elbow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot on the inside of your left hand. Inhale, warrior 1. Melt your back heel down. Dial it out to point towards the top right corner of your mat. Align the outer edge of your front foot with the long edge of the mat. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Take one more inhale here. Exhale with elbows slightly bent. Interlace your fingertips behind your back. Inhale, lengthen to your capacity. Exhale, humble warrior. Let your head hang heavy and let your hands be light as they extend up to the sky. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, pyramid pose. Straighten into your right and your left leg. I recommend stepping your back foot forward about 1 foot, but keep the same angle of your feet. Breathe into the space behind your right and your left leg. Breathe into your hamstrings. Draw your inner thighs together to keep your hips squared. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Stay here. Exhale, reach your arms forward. Ground into your front foot. Inhale, warrior 3 pose. Float your right leg off the earth. Take one more inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Sweep the energy of your fingertips back. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, standing splits. Let your head hang heavy as your foot raises up towards the sky. Keep your hips square. Take one more inhale. Exhale, standing forward fold. Feet meet at the top of your mat. Time to flow, breath per movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your back. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or spring, high plank to low plank. Knees on the mat are an option. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up. Exhale, tap opposite elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, plant right foot on the inside of right hand. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, interlace fingertips behind your back. Inhale, lengthen arms and spine to capacity. Exhale, humble warrior. Stay for your inhale breath. Exhale, pyramid pose, straighten into your legs. Inhale, warrior 3, round down into your front foot. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep your fingertips back. Inhale, standing split. Exhale, standing forward fold. Next side, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Stepper, spring back, high plank to low plank, knees on the mat are an option. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, tap opposite elbow. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, left foot meets left hand. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, interlace fingertips behind back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, humble warrior. Stay for your inhale breath. Exhale, pyramid pose, straighten into your legs. Inhale, warrior three, ground down through your front foot. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Press your palms together over your head. Bring your hands to heart center. Time for belly up core exercises. Lower your hips down on towards the earth. Keep your hands at heart center. Lift your sternum, your breastbone in towards your thumbs and pin your shoulder blades on your back. Lower your torso back until you feel your abdomen catch. This should be enough. If it's not, you can float your legs up or even straighten your legs or even straighten your arms. Breathe here. Check back in with the integrity of your spine. Find one straight line from the tip of your hips all the way through the crown of your head. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release your feet down, hip width distance apart. Plant your hands down, shoulder width distance apart behind your glutes. Option to point your thumbs toward your heels or all 10 fingers towards your heels. Inhale, puff up your chest, pin your shoulder blades together. Exhale, reverse tabletop. Also option for reverse plank with your legs completely straight. Find a little more buoyancy in your heart and your hips. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release all the way down. Vertebrae by vertebrae, peel all the way down onto the mat until the back of your head makes gentle contact. Sweep your hands up overhead, stretch from the tip of your fingers through the tip of your toes. Then lift your feet up towards the sky. Keep your right leg lifted up, float your left leg down so it hovers just 1 inch above the mat. Interlace your fingertips to point towards your left leg. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Continue to breathe. Feel your obliques working. Feel your low back stamped on the mat. Take 2 more full breaths wherever you are. Exhale, gently release. Left foot meets right. Lower your right leg towards the mat till it hovers off the top edge of your mat about 1 inch. Interlace your fingertips and point towards your right foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, crunch. With every inhale, find length. With every exhale, peel a little bit more of your shoulder blades off the mat. Feel your obliques working here. Take 1 more full breath. Exhale, gently release. Peel your right leg up towards your left leg for balance, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Roll up and down the length of your spine. Find so much momentum that you come into a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders directly over your elbows, and now melt down onto your forearms. We are now coming into our peak pose, forearm stand, also known as pincha mayurasana in Sanskrit. Option 2, keep your arms parallel to one another or interlace your fingertips for a little bit more stability. Just like you've been doing with each chaturanga, magnetize your upper arms together and lock your upper arms in towards your shoulders. Curl your toes underneath and lift your hips up towards the sky like you've done in each downward facing dog. Tiptoe your toes as close as they can get to your elbows. Your intention is to stack your shoulders over your elbows and your hips over your shoulders. You can take a slight bend to your knees. And then we'll start with the right leg. Sweep your right leg extended straight up to the sky. This is where the hamstring stretch really comes in. Keep your upper arms locked into place. Continue to magnetize your upper arms together. Use your core to maybe float your left toes off of the ground. Maybe your left leg meets your right leg in pincha mayurasana, forearm stand. Breathe here. If your left leg is floated up, release your left leg down and release your right leg down to meet it. Come into a child's pose. Melt your hips down upon your heels. Melt your forehead down. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Reset. Come back to your intention. Take a moment to scan your body and see how you're feeling. Acknowledge any emotions or any feelings that arise. Let them pass. And now slowly start to awaken your body and set up for the other side. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. Roll over onto a tabletop position. Melt your forearms down. Option to keep your forearms parallel to one another, or once again, you have the option to interlace your fingertips for a little bit more shoulder stability. Nonetheless, just like in our first flow, keep your elbows stacked directly in line with your shoulders. Lock your upper arms into place. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up towards the sky, and tiptoe your feet as close to your elbows as possible. This time, sweep your left leg up to the sky. Yes, this is why we've been prepping with all of those hamstrings. Maybe you use your core to float your right toes off of the ground. Maybe your right toes float so much that your right leg meets your left leg. Wherever you are, breathe here. Keep magnetizing your upper arms together, your elbows together, and keep your upper arms locked in towards your shoulders. If your right leg is floating up, release it down, and everyone release their left leg down. Melt into your child's pose. Sink your knees down. Your knees can touch or they can be mat width distance apart. Sink your hips down onto your heels. Give some respite to your shoulders and reach your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Feel your forehead, your third eye press heavy down into the mat. And any thoughts, let them spill out of the gateway to your mind, your forehead, your third eye, onto your mat. And anything that doesn't serve you, let it go. You don't need it. Reconnect with your intention for your practice today. Gently peel yourself up from your child's pose, being mindful of your body. Come into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose. Draw your right knee behind your right wrist and your left ankle behind your left wrist. Gaze back at your left leg and make sure that it's parallel to the long edge of the mat. Square your hips towards the short edge of the mat. You can use a block or a prop under one or two of your hips if that feels better. And then melt down into your pose. You can rest your heart over your front shin, or you can rest your heart on a block or a pillow. Breathe here. Breathe into the nice deep stretch in your right hip. Take one more inhale. Exhale, gently release out. Roll onto the outer edge of your right thigh and wrap your left leg all the way around. Set up for a variation of cow face pose. Stack your left knee directly over your right knee and try and wing your shins out so they come in line with each other. If this is a little too much, you have the option to just sit cross-legged. Inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky. Exhale, eagle wrap, right arm under left. If that's a little too much, option to give yourself a great big hug. If it's available in your body, curl in, wrap around your spine, and magnetize your elbows towards your knees. Tuck your chin and bow your head. All of the energy we opened in our hamstrings, we opened in our heart, pull all of that energy in. Take one more breath here and gently release. Inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, release your hands at your side. Place the left sole of the foot firmly on the outside of your right knee. Left knee points up towards the sky. Your right knee can stay bent, or you can straighten into your right leg. Inhale, lengthen spine, sweep arms up. Exhale, spinal twist. Open your heart towards the left. Your arm can wrap around the back side of your left knee or the front side of your left knee for a little bit of a deeper twist. Unwind your spine here. Unravel from your spinal twist. Gently unwrap your left leg, reach it back, coming into a pigeon pose, only to come back into downward facing dog. If you need to take a counter stretch or a counter balance, that's completely fine. Everyone meets in downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose. Drop your left knee behind your left wrist and your left ankle behind your right wrist. Set up your hips. Use a prop, a pillow, a block if need be to square your hips. And then option to melt your heart over your front shin. Once again, you could use a block or a prop, a pillow, a blanket to rest your heart over your leg. Breathe here. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, gently, slowly peel out of your pigeon pose. Roll onto the outer edge of your left thigh and wrap your right leg all the way around. Set up for cow face pose. Stack your right knee over your left knee. Your feet should be lined up with each other, flaring out kind of like wings. If this is too much, you can come into a comfortable seated position. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, eagle wrap, left arm under right. If this is a little too much, you can give yourself a great big hug. And when you're ready, bow forward, gravitate your elbows towards your knees, tuck your chin, and bow your head. All of that opening, stretching, lengthening we did, now crunch it in and bow forward. Draw the energy in. Gently release out of your pose. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, release your hands by your side. Plant the right sole of your foot firmly onto the mat on the outside of your left leg. You can keep your left knee bent or straighten it out in front of you. Inhale, lengthen spine, sweep arms to the sky. Exhale, spinal twist towards the left. Your arm can hook around the back of your right knee, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, it can go around the front of your right knee. Breathe here. Gently unravel your spine. Come back to a neutral position. Gently unravel your right leg. Sweep it all the way back as if you're coming into pigeon pose, and then come into a downward facing dog. Option to take any counterbalance or counter stretch that you need and meet back in a downward facing dog. Rock forward to a high plank and lower all the way down onto the mat. Take a slight back bend here to get a heart opening. Reach your fingertips back towards your heels. Lift and lengthen through your chest. Gently release. Roll all the way onto your back. Happy baby pose. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Grab onto your big toes or your feet. Take any movement that feels good into your body. Reset. And when you're ready, let go of your feet or your toes. Wrap yourself into a big ball. Bow your head. Take one more inhale. Exhale, Shavasana. Release into your final and your most important pose. Corpse pose. Breathe here. Let all of your limbs, your arms and your legs be heavy. Let your shoulder blades be heavy. Let your spine be heavy on the mat, fully supported. Let the weight of your skull be supported. Open your upper and your lower lip. Let a few molecules of oxygen flood into your mouth. Breathe. There is a house built out of stone.